Hey, what's up,
Yeah,
everyone?
yeah,
Welcome,
yeah, good to be here. What an
welcome
intro.
to another installment of Fuse Meets. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to click subscribe, follow us across all the social media channels. I didn't say the word smash, so you can just click it, it's fine. So today, what we're doing here with Fuse Meets, I'm excited to have Yair and Tim from Meridian Finance with us. Now, Meridian has recently integrated with the Fuse network to offer our DeFi traders more utility for their Fuse tokens and a few more options as well. We're going to dive into that, and we're going to talk all about that integration and what it means for Fuse and what it means for the community. But first, gentlemen, how are you today?
Yeah, doing wonderful. Good to spend the day with you, Ian.
Nice, man. How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a busy morning. Lots going on right now, especially with crypto, coming back again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I believe Bitcoin will cross the all-time high during the live.
Yeah, we might do actually. That could be quite interesting. Yeah. No, I feel you, Tim. I've been my phone's been in my hand a lot more over the past few weeks than it has been over the past few years. Maybe the last year or so. Let's say that much.
Yeah, the price is going up when you're constantly checking CoinGecko.
Yeah, I was looking at my history, my phone, like your usage, and it's like new platforms have become my most used thing. So cool, man. So I'm also hearing a bit of English there, Tim, I think. So that's cool, as you can hear in my voice too. That's nice. All right, guys. So I just want you both to one of the reasons we do these calls is so that people in the Fuse community can get to know the people who run the platforms, like the people behind the protocol, basically. So can you just give us a little bit of information, each one of you, about how you got into Web3, what drove you here? Was it just an accident? Are you veterans? Are you newbies? Just tell us a little bit about yourselves, man.
Yeah, so I will go first. Yeah, so I will go first. So I'm considering myself as a pretty much an OG in the space. I think the first transaction I did with Bitcoin was in 2015, so quite some time ago. Then it was, at least for me, just a measure to transfer value while I tried to make some money online. I think like most of youth around the world. So it was a convenient tool to use to transfer these funds from place to place. Since then, I got involved more and more in this technology, and I was part of other two protocols. I would say small project. So a few years back, and after that, I got involved in my country. In government agencies, so I also in charge on the crypto side of things, also developing some capabilities and etc. And now I'm the business development manager of Meridian for the past about 6 months, I believe. Time flies.
It's quite a journey, man. That's quite a journey, and good to hear that you're one of the veterans. So that's nice as well. Tim, how about you? Are you similar?
I joined a little bit later. It was around 2020 during COVID when I was bored at home and just trying to find out how to make a bit of money online, essentially.
Nice.
So yeah, made a few investments in Bitcoin and Ethereum back then, and then found a network called Telos and started investing over there. They had an EVM launching, and which I was quite excited about.
Yeah.
But when it launched, it was a bit of a flop, as there weren't any exchanges that built on top of the network. I was kind of getting developing things myself while I was at uni. So I thought, okay, I'll have a crack at building a crypto exchange, simple Uni v2 fork. And so yeah, deployed that on Telos about 2 years ago. It was called OmniDex, and it became one of the largest exchanges on the network quite quickly. And then we also built a lending platform and a few other products as well. But unfortunately, over summer, the multi-chain fiasco happened, and unfortunately, Telos was very heavily exposed to multi-chain assets. So this meant that all the tokens listed on our exchange quickly became worthless. And it was kind of a race to the bottom with our users taking their assets off the platform and trying to liquidate what they could. So this is obviously a very terrible time for us. And kind of let's rebuild from the ground up, where we're not fully dependent on a third party such as multi-chain. And so that was kind of the groundwork for us to build Meridian.
Nice, man. That's a hell of a journey as well, Tim. That's quite a short amount of time, but a lot of exposure in that time as well. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of years.
Crazy couple of years. Yeah, I feel you. And also learning from such a catastrophic kind of error as well. I'm sure it's taught you a lot, right? That's at the time, I'm sure it didn't feel so nice, but now I bet you look back and think that was it's not a great thing, but you've learned an awful lot from that, right?
Well, yeah. And the thing is, it wasn't particularly like our faults. It was more like we're just heavily dependent on this bridge, the same as like many other networks were. But obviously, like, you know, it's definitely not something we aim to do again moving forward. Unfortunately, we've got better solutions out there now, such as Layer 0, that we can leverage, so we don't have to be dependent on centralized projects.
Yeah, indeed, we get older quicker on crypto, so you get older much quicker. It's
interesting though. It shows how much the space moves forward in such a short amount of time as well. We're talking like a couple of years, aren't we? And it's almost like a massive shift in evolution in what's capable. Anyway, guys, I feel like I could sit here and chat with you all day about random things. Let's jump into the questions, shall we? So I got a whole bunch of questions I want to ask you. So what's happened is that we are thrilled to sort of announce the further expansion of our ecosystem and the joining of Meridian Finance. So first of all, Meridian has deployed Meridian Mint and the USDM stablecoin. Later, we're going to be looking at Merdian Lend and Trade as products that are going to launch onto Fuse and hopefully bring lending opportunities back into the network, which is something that we want to do. So, gentlemen, I've got a bunch of questions. You guys can decide who wants to answer. If one of you wants to top up another one's answer, please feel free. No problem with that. So, let's start at the beginning. What is Meridian Finance? What do you offer?
Yeah, so do you want to take that, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead. I will come. Okay. I will add something later.
Yeah, so Meridian Finance is essentially a suite of decentralized financial products that compose Meridian. So we've got a trading platform, which is a fork of GMX. We've got a lending platform, which is a fork of Aave, and we've got a stablecoin, which is a fork of the Liquidity protocol. So together, that's what makes up Meridian. Our core product is actually a stablecoin, USDM, but our kind of ethos was like, if we want to like actually create a big network effect for a stablecoin, we need lots of different products that leverage the stablecoin. So, you know, there's not much point in just having a standalone token to $1. You need to have different integrations. You need to be able to use it within the ecosystems. So for that reason, we built the trading platform and the lending platform to leverage the token so you can use it for a bunch of different things. So yeah, in a whole, that's kind of what Meridian is. At the core as well, we try and be as decentralized as possible and kind of rely as little as possible on other like third parties, which obviously, as I was saying beforehand, because of our experience with multi-chain.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, man.
I will also add that we build Meridian Finance in a way that we have a strong economic model that also benefits the entire ecosystem that we deploy on, not just Meridian itself, but also, for example, in this case, the Fuse network as well. So, for example, in order to mint USDM, in that case, you need to lock up Fuse tokens, and then you can mint against it some USDMs. And with that, it soak up some selling pressure from the market and give it a good use, which helps the ecosystem to thrive and grow the liquidity that way, especially that you can earn by staking USDM. And I guess we will talk a little bit more about this in a few minutes, but that's something we also thinking about, and as a team side, also reducing external risks and unnecessary risk for the ecosystem, like happened before.
Yeah, I understand. So I mean, we're kind of talking about there, like the motivations and the benefits to Fuse network as well. As you rightly said, you lock up Fuse to release USDM. This is a benefit to the Fuse ecosystem and is our kind of focus at the moment in our DeFi ecosystem to improve TVL and shift that forward and provide more utility as well. So let's talk about so Meridian Mint is what's available on Fuse specifically, and the USDM stablecoin. And there's a couple of different ways that participants can earn and use this. So tell us a bit more about the kind of the role of Meridian Mint and the USDM stablecoin.
Yeah, so the role of Meridian Mint in short. So this is our stablecoin protocol. So to get a stablecoin that there is no risk for him of outside risk. So we use only Fuse collateral. It's different from other stablecoins, like the centralized stablecoin that the redemption and the minting is done by a private company, or even more decentralized options like DAI, for example. It uses a basket of assets, and most of it is other centralized stablecoin. So the risk is still the same, pretty much. So with USDM, it only uses Fuse, so the native gas token right now, as collateral, and the user can decide which collateral ratio he wants to take, so he can avoid the risk of liquidation every time that you take a debt against collateral to mint the stable coins. And then using this stable coin for now, he first of all can hold it or swap it and trade the Fuse token price. And we have liquidity pools on Voltage, so users can swap their USDM freely. But they can also stake it on the stability pool, which is part of the pegging mechanism, while there is liquidations in the protocol. And to incentivize the users to do it, we will be allocating Fuse rewards together with the Fuse Foundation, the Fuse Labs, to incentivize users to deposit their USDM and help the pegging mechanism, and also earn the yield doing so.
Yeah, and currently each USDM token is backed by over $1.70 worth of Fuse tokens. So it's each token is 170%. So this means that like even in extremely like crazy market conditions where the Fuse token could crash a huge amount, you can still be very sure that the USDM token is going to maintain its peg. And yeah, the minimum it's ever going to be is 110% collateralized, because if a position drops below that, then the liquidation mechanism kicks in. But for the time being, it's very collateralized.
Okay, that's really important information there, Tim. That 170% over collateralization for people thinking about experimenting here. Thank you for adding that. Okay, so let's talk about the practicalities of it a little bit. So how do users kind of deposit Fuse to mint the USDM stablecoin? What's the process? Is it like super tricky, or how do people actually do it? And then the kind of rewards, what kind of numbers are we talking about for rewards for supporting the pegging mechanism?
Yeah, so the process itself is very straightforward. If you have Fuse in your wallet, then you can just head straight over to mint.meridianfinance.net. Or led to will enable you to open a trove. You can deposit your Fuse tokens into this trove and directly mint USD against those tokens. Then you can take the USDM and go to the stability pool page, where you can deposit in essentially a staking pool. And when you deposit that I think it's around 45% APR right now, so a very decent stablecoin return.
Okay, really cool. Really simple as well, actually. So there's a link up there. Yeah, I think it might be me, Tim. I wouldn't worry. I think it's possibly me. Everything's okay. You're still there. I can see you. We can hear you perfectly. It's fine.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So there's a link up there at the top of the screen for exploring Meridian. So what Tim just talked about, if guys want to scan the link there, you'll head straight to that and you can start to explore. So it did sound fairly straightforward, actually. Sorry, Tim. And did you want to add something there? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we also have a YouTube channel called the Meridian Marketing Machine. We have a bunch of tutorials on how to use Meridian video tutorials, and we are also creating video tutorials specific for Fuse. So how to do this entire process on the Fuse network, and then how to supply it on the stability pool or on voltage. So it's all be easy to understand using this video as well. And yeah, as Tim said, it's about 45% APR right now. I mean, it's higher than the bank, at least my bank.
Higher than my bank, that's for sure. Yeah, it's higher than most banks, I would think. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we also mentioned a minute ago, we mentioned voltage here in this equation as well, because swapping Fuse for your token, which is missed on voltage. So can we just dive into that a little bit more? So just tell people what they can do there.
Yes. You want to take this one?
Okay, yeah. So we've got a small liquidity pool at the moment on voltage. There's around $12,000 in there. So if you're buying small amounts of MST, then you can head over to voltage. You might add more liquidity if we see the demand on the Fuse network. We've also got liquidity pools across base network and Telos, which are a fair bit larger. Of MST to get involved with the ecosystem, then voltage is the place to go. Okay. Unless you want to purchase larger amounts.
Yeah.
How would you facilitate that, Tim, if it was a thing? If somebody did want to dive head first, how would that happen? Is it OTC deals, or what's the best advice there?
Yeah. So if he's looking,
we do OTC deals.
Yeah. Looks like
this is probably your area.
Yeah, it looks like a small delay. Yeah, so if someone wants to buy bigger chunks, so you probably can add right now to the different networks that MST is trading on. So it's based on Telos. They have much deeper liquidity pools, and if we see the demand, we will also increase it on Fuse. And if you want so much buy a bigger allocation, so you can reach out to us and we can see if we can structure a better deal. But the current liquidity pools should hold a decent amount of transaction, but anything extra, they can come to us. Maybe I will add just a few sentences of what MST is. What is the MST value proposition and what it brings to the table. So MST is the secondary asset within the Meridian ecosystem, and its supply is capped in 10 million tokens across all chains. Okay. What it makes is really scarce with time, and what it gives to its holders, it's the fees that our products are generating. So every time someone mints USDM or redeem USDM, and also with the next products we will deploy, so the lending protocol and trading, hopefully. So all of these products generate fees, and these fees are distributed to the MST stakers. So the more products that Meridian deploys, in the end of the day, it will bring more yield to MST stakers and more value proposition to its holders.
Got it. Okay, nice. So that's go on, Tim. Sorry.
I was just going to add that as we see Fuse tokens become more volatile as of late, there's going to be a lot more redemptions happening through Meridian Mint, which means a lot more fees for people that are staking USDM on the Fuse network. I'm starting to see that already, but it has picked up a bit in the last few days.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because we've seen quite a price tick there. We've increased quite a bit. So it's interesting the way the mechanics are working there. For investors of DeFi, both of you guys are quite savvy on these things. So using these kind of platforms can be quite daunting for some people. They can be really simple for others, but we kind of want everybody to dip a toe in here as well. Like, what guidance would you give to people who are trying to navigate options on Meridian to maximize returns? Not just about maximizing returns, but kind of, if you're a newbie, would you jump straight into Lend? Like, how would you approach this? Would you warm up by doing a couple of trades? Like, what advice would you give people for investors new to DeFi using Meridian?
I'd say the best thing to do would be to go to the docs. We've got extremely thorough documentation on how the product works.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a good starting point. As I was talking about earlier, we've also
It looks like you are cutting off a bit, Tim.
I
So
can turn off my camera, maybe. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
yeah, in the meantime, I will add. So as a team started to say, so the first go-to place to look for is our documentation, which is pretty detailed and a good source of information to use. Second thing to look for, I would say, is as I mentioned before, is the YouTube channel that have a lot of tutorials that makes it really easy to understand, even for less savvy users, which is a good place as well. On our homepage, we also link to some pages that ease the navigation between certain pools and things like this. So we just released the token portal, which users can see the price of USDM and MST across all chains. Nice. On the same interface with links to buy it or sell it directly from the website, which is really combines all the pools we are listed on the same interface, which is a good source of information for newcomers. And another thing I can mention that for now, Meridian Mint is a fork of Liquidity, so there are a bunch of videos about the liquidity mechanism in general that might be useful for a user that want to dive a little bit deeper.
I'm just going to bring up the Meridian Finance website, so we can just, because we're talking about docs and things like that, I just want to show people sort of how easy it is to get to. So if you go to the meridianfinance.net website, you'll find here, you've got the link to the docs there. And as these guys are telling you, and they are absolutely correct, there is a lot of information here to help you along your way. Detailed information on swaps, on referrals, on earning, getting started. So if you're a bit unsure, guys, this is the best thing to do, is just to hop in here and find all the information you need. And then down at the bottom, the Meridian marketing machine, which is the thing you mentioned. Is that correct, Haya? That's the YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. Just need to make sure the links are working, but it's
double check that.
Yeah, just remove the prefix to the link. I think. Yeah, I remember.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll update that one. But yeah, I just wanted to show people the kind of.
It will link to the YouTube channel.
Perfect. All right, cool, man.
Yeah, and you can also show the token portal in the main menu as well.
Yeah.
So this is what I mentioned. Yeah, so they can switch between each chain and swap between MST or USDM.
Nice. Okay, nice. All right, cool. So yeah, I just wanted to pull up the UI a little bit, let people have a look. So that's meridianfinance.net. So make sure you get the right URL, especially right now. There's going to be a lot of sort of dodginess there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, it's about connecting to websites in Web3, which are not official. So just always be careful you've got the right URL for the site. All right, so everything's there and you can see everything. And also the roadmap for Meridian is here as well. These guys have outlined what they've achieved so far and where they're heading in the future. So I just wanted to share that there, just to give everyone a better idea. Cool. Tim, are you still there? Have we got you?
Yeah, I'm still here. I think it's better to keep my camera off, though, because it's causing a bit of a lag.
Cool, man. Did you want to add anything to that, Tim? Because we're just coming towards the end and just sort of thinking about, I guess another question is, I pulled up the roadmap there. What's on the agenda for you guys and the project Meridian over 2024? Like, what are you guys thinking? Any key milestones that you're aiming for?
Yeah, so the next step will be, adding additional products such as Merdian Lend and Merdian Trade into the Fuse ecosystem, and making sure that launch is successful. And then beyond that, we're also looking at integrating new chains and kind of building the network effect of Meridian and USDM across, across every chain possible. So yeah, it's all about growth this next year. I think it's going to be quite exciting. There's a lot of interest for our products. So yeah, we're growing very fast, and it's going to be exciting to see where it goes.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah. We'll also add that we are in talks with many protocols within the ecosystem that we deploy on to integrate Meridian assets, so USDM and sometimes MST. So USDM will gain more utility over time on the ecosystem we deployed on. So this is another milestone we are looking to achieve with USDM to make it broadly used. Like on the past ecosystem we deployed it, and it got one of the biggest stablecoin there. For reference, the Telos ecosystem. And in addition to that, we are making some development and upgrading our current products to make it more efficient than ever. We will release more information about this soon, but we might have even newer versions and more and improved capabilities later down the line.
Nice, man. So more growth, improved UI, and just generally like growing and kind of shaping to the space. I think, like Tim, you said, this is a great time for growth, man. Like a great time to be trying to get attention. So it's a good time, and hence why we do these things, and hence why we've done this integration. So cool, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. For all the watchers, thank you all for joining in. And if you're watching this back, which is what a lot of people do, if any of this hasn't made sense to you, please do reach out. As we said in the call, there's a lot of documentation available. Head there, see what you can find. We try to give everything that people need to make their lives as easy as possible, right? And the same on Fuse too. We've got a lot of information for Meridian there, and there'll be more coming in the future as well. So thank you both to you guys. Do you want to end with anything? Any last statements?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, you can always reach out to us on our Telegram as well. We're very active over there, so to answer any additional questions, feel free to drop a message.
Nice.
Yeah, and please do. I really enjoy meeting new people and explaining this stuff. It's what makes me happy and fulfilled.
I know what you mean, right? Like a lot of people, like for guys like us, we actually really enjoy trying to explain the intricacy of these things to what we call normal people. I guess it's a horrible thing to say, but like people who don't know about how using it. I just recently spent like 20 minutes trying to explain to my mom and dad about decentralization last week, and I was using seven candles, and I was using the carpet, and it took me about 10 minutes, and in the end, they got it. Like they really got it. And they were like, "Oh, thank you. Now I understand." So it's not that.
It makes you so satisfied.
It was a good feeling.
Yeah.
But then my mother did call me and ask me about Bitcoin, so I kind of knew that this whole thing is over, right? Like, that's the double-edged sword, right? There's the double.
Then you just gave her the orange peel.
No, I didn't give her any advice. I basically said not investment advice. What you do is up to you, mother. That's your bag. That's your bag. No blame, no blame. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. For all the people who have tuned in, thank you very much. And as I say, and as the guys say, if you've got questions, please reach out. We are here to help you from the smallest things up to the largest. So please do. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from Meridian Finance as we go forward through the year. I know that Fuse has got other things that we're working on with you guys, so that will all be coming out very soon. So yeah, a good year ahead, I think, is what we're all looking forward to. So thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thanks,
and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you, Ryan. Have a good one, everyone.
That's it. Keep checking those.